Hello everybody, my name is Meg and welcome to this video. So I just finished hiking the Appalachian Trail just this past year, 2017. I hiked southbound from Maine to Georgia, and so I wanted to show you guys a couple little demos of some of the stuff that I use. So something I'm going to show you is a little Sawyer squeeze filter system demo, and the GSI minimalist. I'm going to cook a little meal and show you kind of the process that it takes to cook a meal on the Appalachian Trail. So first and foremost, like obviously what you want and what you need first is water. So usually when you get into a shelter or a camping area, there will be water, a water source there. So fill up your water. This is just the Sawyer squeeze. I saw some people out there with the Sawyer minis, but those are the ones you typically see where people will attach it to a smart water bottle or a life water bottle and just drink right out of it. They do not filter, the flow is not as fast. So most people ended up with just the regular Sawyer squeeze. That to me was my favorite. And then a tip too for filling up water, I just noticed this year, if you cut the bottom of a smart water bottle off, you can use that as a scoop for water. So a lot of the time it's just so much easier to scoop instead of try to fill your bag up. Okay, I guess before I show you this, I should take this stuff out of here. So inside of my, this is the GSI dualist, or I'm sorry, this is the minimalist. This is the minimalist. Inside of there, I keep my burner and my fuel. So this is just the stove part. What's awesome about this is that it has a koozie on it. So when I started hiking the trail, I actually did start with the boiler, the GSI boiler. I'll show you that in a minute. But this was what I switched to. So I love that it already has this koozie. So the directions on these, this is just a rice sides. I'm gonna give you two tips. This is a chicken. Somebody bought this for me for Christmas as a joke. I don't eat meat. I don't eat chicken, but I'm gonna show this to you anyway. I figure it's a great demo item. So on the back of most of these rice sides, it's going to tell you to use more water than you actually need. So this right here says 2 cups of water. You do not need that much, only about 1.5 cups, if that. And then it says a tablespoon of margarine or butter, which you absolutely do not need. So some people on the trail do carry butter or oil, and that's fine if you want to add that for fat, but trust me, these rice sides in particular are filling enough for one person. Something that my partner John and I used to do when we were cooking meals together and eating together is we would take like one of these rice sides or pasta sides, and we would take just a pack of ramen and crush it up and mix it in there with it. Trust me, there's enough flavor and sodium, you do not need more. But we just did that as a filler, and then we could share that meal for 2 people. So if you're hiking with a partner or just with somebody else, etc., that's a good tip. But so anyway, these are 2 cups anyway, so you just know if you're gonna fill 1.5 cups, like you can kind of just eyeball it. And I have not even used this filter in a couple weeks, but the flow is still good, if you can see that. Now what I'm using in my hand, this is the 1 liter bag. At one point I attempted to carry a 2 liter bag, but it just like took way too long to fill stuff. And I just prefer the 1 liter because what I like to do is fill up at a water source, drink 1 liter of water. So I would just like sit there and drink one of these bags with my lunch or whatever like that. And then before I left, I would fill it up again and fill my bottle, or fill my bottle while I was sitting there. But 1 liter is really all that you need to carry. So okay, I'm going to show you. This is actually just a jet oil fuel canister. You can get MSR makes these; they're really popular too. But you will be able to resupply on this fuel anywhere along the trail, even like from gas stations to grocery stores. Carry these because they know that hikers are coming through. So you can get a fuel anywhere. This I like because it's lightweight. I can carry it right inside of my stove. And to be honest, most of the time I do prefer to cook over a fire. But for morning coffee specifically, and you know, if you get in and it's a rainy day, you want to have fuel. But this went a long way for me. So anyway, my burner here is, my buddy Lost Cookie gave this to me. It's the E-Tech City. I'm pretty sure he got this on Amazon for like $15. When John and I were hiking together, we just used one stove for the most part, and we had an MSR Pocket Rocket, which is hands down my favorite. It is definitely much better quality than this. But the Pocket Rocket is $45. But it's still worth the investment. If you have not bought a burner yet, get the MSR Pocket Rocket. That's what I have my tattoo of with Princess Bubblegum on my ankle. So these also have an automatic starter, but like because the MSR is just self-light, that's just what I'm like used to doing. So I just turn the fuel source on a little bit, light the flame, and then you'll see, I don't know if you can see that, I'll back it up a little bit. You can see the flame going. And I just crank it all the way up. And these ones you are supposed to just mix in all together. I guess I should have got my spoon. Give me 1 second. And I'll talk up. I don't know how loud that is. But this is also the food bag I carried. Really popular. That's the Z-Packs. So with these rice bags, just mix it all in together. And pretty much the nicest part about having that koozie is that all you really have to do is bring this up to a boil. This lid too, I use it when I use the burner. I don't use it over a fire, just because first of all you don't need to and you don't want to melt it, but you want to just bring this to a boil, like a rapid boil. As soon as you hear it start boiling, take the lid off and keep your hand on the burner too, because they do get really hot. But just bring it to a rapid boil, and then you can just put it right in your koozie. So I usually carry like a camp towel on me, or this is like usually always wear a buff around my neck. So especially like if something like this happens and I'm by a fire and I realize I don't have a pot holder or anything, then I just use my buff, which I'll do to show you this. So real quick, while this is going too, I'm going to show you. This is actually, so this is called the GSI boiler. This is 1.1 liters. It is way more pot than you need for the Appalachian Trail, unless literally like you're hiking with a group of people and you're cooking for multiple people. The nice thing is it's super lightweight, but I found with my pack, it just was like really bulky, and that was when John and I were hiking together, and we just, even the two of us were not filling up this pot. So we found it was better just to get the smaller ones. And then we also had, I'm going to show you these two for a little while. When I had that bowl, the boiler, you can't like just drink out of it or anything. The nice thing with the Minimalist is it's got the koozie, so you can just convert it right into your morning coffee mug. But before we had that, we both got these mugs, which are just also the GSI mugs. They have really great products. And you'll see like it's got a snap top and everything, and then the top comes off. And the benefit to these two, it does have a koozie, and then this is also a measuring cup. So if you are planning to start with a mug, I'm telling you, start with this mug. It's super lightweight, so you can just hang it on the back of your pack, or you can stuff stuff in it and then put it in one of your side pockets, like snacks, I don't even know, anything. But these mugs are awesome, and they come in like multiple colors, his and hers. So those were cool, but then once I switched to this, I just sent that home because I didn't need it anymore. So the difference too, this is all pretty much already coming to a boil. With the MSR, like it might have already been in a boil. But to be honest, fuel is fuel. It still boils it. Like maybe that's, I don't know. I really like the MSR Pocket Rocket, but if you're on a budget, this works just as fine. So it's boiling. I'm gonna just like keep stirring it on the bottom because that's usually where you'll find the things stick. Now if you put like butter or oil in here, you probably won't get that, but when you're on the trail, you just come to know that you don't really need that extra stuff unless you like really, really like it. And then also, your pot's gonna just kind of like have dirt and mess and gunk on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, and that's in a pretty rapid boil, so I'm gonna put this lid back on. And I just like to grab it from the top, but like with both fingers, so it just slides right down into the koozie. And then if I do have something like this on me, I just kind of wrap it around there too, just for like extra warmth or whatever. And now basically you just wait. Like if you were gonna cook that over a fire, you might have it like done and cooked in about 5 minutes. The thing with cooking something like that over the fire is be conscious of stirring it, because if you put it down somewhere really hot, you know, your hand has to be able to get in there to stir it. So I'll show you some fire tips in another video. But honestly, I never had a problem with waiting like 8 to 10 minutes for something like this to cook in my koozie. I save on fuel because I'm only boiling for about a minute instead of sitting there and boiling it the whole time. And then like usually I wanted to eat some kind of snack beforehand anyway, or I would just take this time to like set up my tent or my you know, my sleeping bag or chug some water. I don't know. There's lots of things to do in the meantime. So I'm not gonna wait to show you guys that. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what it looks like. And then I'm gonna go see if my little brother wants it, or the dogs. Maybe his dogs will like some chicken flavored rice. Rice sides too, they're really cheap. Those are the Knorr sides if you are on a budget. If you are not on that much of a budget, you'll probably want to buy a more quality product. But that's just me. I'm a bit of like a foodie, so I didn't do many of the rice sides. You'll hear in some of my other videos. I did a lot of mac and cheese though, and then I would do like ramen dishes where I would like mix in mayo and chives or some kind of like vegetable, like tomatoes, grape tomatoes. So I kind of did my own thing, but this is what you'll see is very popular out on the trail. And if you're, you know, getting ready to do your first resupply and you do not know what to buy, just buy rice sides. You will not be disappointed. They'll be plenty filling enough, and they're lightweight too. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna end this video, but there's more where that came from. So stay tuned, and thank y'all for your love and support like usual.